Performers who live in Penang. And if you call us entertainers, you would not be so wrong. It's part and parcel of our makeup, please do sing.
Hello and welcome to Penang Heritage Arts Festival podcast. Today we have Luvenia with us. So she's a dancer, a mover, and she will be with us throughout the Penang Heritage Arts Festival dance programs. So let's hear it from Luvenia.
My name is Luvenia Kalia. I was born and raised in Penang, and I'm a dancer. I'm also a producer. And I've been dancing almost all my life. And I'm here with Deva to talk about the Penang Heritage Arts Festival.
Okay, welcome Luvenia. So, you are part of the presentation, the workshop, and also the performance for Penang Heritage Arts Festival dance side of it. So, can you tell a bit of your process throughout this thing?
I like to make sure that everything that I do informs each other. So actually these three things are very connected. We are in the process of building the piece Varushali for the performance, but the workshops is going to be a little bit of insight into what the dancers had to go through to prepare for this piece. So really the workshop is just sort of a glimpse into our rehearsal. So we're going to take the participants on a journey with us to explore all the themes and the types of techniques that we use in developing the piece. And in the presentation, I will be talking a little bit about years of research, I think, from the time that I was much younger in a diploma, really curious about practices and big topics. So I will be presenting my journey throughout and how we've landed at this piece Varushali. So it's not something that's independent. It is a piece that comes from years of sort of experimenting and trying things with new collaborations, new performances. So they may carry different names and different forms, but it is like a thread throughout my artistic journey that brings me here today. So that presentation, the workshop and the performance, if you were a part of the workshop or the performance, I think as an audience you will be able to appreciate the work a lot more. Because sometimes dance can be very abstract, and then maybe as audience members we want to understand what is it that they were doing there, I think it's okay to not understand, to just come and appreciate and go back with your own sort of interpretation. But this format of the Heritage Arts Festival allows the audiences who are curious to learn a bit about how we do things and what guides us, but also I think it's nice to be supporting young artists to learn about how they're thinking and how that's informing the work.
Okay, so you've mentioned that all three sessions are interconnected, and it is for the final piece, which is Varushali.
Mm-hmm.
So can you talk a bit about Varushali?
Yeah.
What's your piece about? Where you got the inspiration?
Varushali is actually a name of a person that we've never met. We chose to collaborate with Gogula Rajan, who was working on researching folk songs from the plantations in Malaya, and it's very much a Tamil population, and it's mostly Tamil folk songs. And because of the sort of time that we were working with, I didn't want to start something from scratch. I wanted to work with other artists and build upon works that they have done. So he comes from a filmmaking background, and so he's producing a film, and I thought, why not? Because what he was searching for were lost melodies of these songs. And so he got different singers to interpret the songs of what they would have sounded like in that time. So I thought, why not we interpret what moving to those songs would look like. So Varushali was actually a name of a girl who was singing this very song, and she's singing a song of grief, and she calls herself in a third person's perspective. She's saying, your daughter Varushali is here. And so we wanted to kind of honor these people who we've never met, who we are now learning about their story. We wanted to honor them, and the only name we had were Varushali. So I think about all of the women that we don't know, who may have had similar experiences. We don't have their faces. We don't have any other way to represent them other than through our bodies and the name Varushali. Yeah.
Okay, that's a very nice and wide thought, I would say. Okay, thanks for sharing about Varushali a bit. So, about your presentation, how are you going to relate it with Varushali here? Your workshop, I understand that it's going to be the process you and your dancers has gone through it. What about the presentation?
Yeah, the presentation, I think it speaks a little bit about contemporary dance and what contemporary dance has provided for me, and how we are sharing this practice. I think people would question, you have a heritage arts festival, but you have contemporary dancers. Sometimes it's hard to grasp, why is it that, some people may say, this is not heritage, this is contemporary dance, it's from the West. But there's this global flow of cultures, and all of us are experiencing new technology. We experience change and we adapt. And so I speak a little bit about how contemporary dance has allowed me to have a dialogue with heritage and to learn more about my relationship with heritage. Because for me, in contemporary dance, we can exist in a hybridization of culture, like we're in Malaysia. The way I live is influenced by a lot of people around me. I'm also from mixed heritage, so the question of heritage is very abstract to me. And the vagueness of contemporary dance, or the ability to explore within contemporary dance, allows me to question what my heritage is. So I bring in the presentation a little bit about my process in coming from a traditional dance practice, but also other dance practices, and how I've personalized contemporary dance to be a platform where I can explore things like identity and heritage, and how I've collaborated with others to do the same thing, or to kind of be in a space where we're all working together to ask questions and to engage with topics like heritage. Yeah.
Okay, so talking about your relationship with heritage, or what is your interpretation about heritage, how do you think this piece has actually helped you connect back or understand the term heritage or heritage itself?
Ooh, it's a very big question. I think sometimes the way heritage is presented to us, it feels very far away, because of course we live in Penang, so everything's like historical, like people love the history, they come here for the culture, they think about things that happened in the 40s and 30s and all that. And sometimes I feel like it's very distant for me to imagine. So I think doing this piece, we are recollecting stories and memories from people in the past. But when you really look at them and you really analyze them, and you find personal stories that connect to those stories, you realize that your environment changes, but some narratives don't shift so much. There's a lot of relatability, and there's a lot of things that were happening then that still exist today. It's just how it's interpreted, maybe it's a bit different. So I think it's shift my lens of heritage to not just be rooted in the past, but it's something that comes back in cycles. And I can really feel like these stories that people were singing about in the past some of them are very relevant still today. And I think in our group, as we move through them and how we interpret the movement, we also find things that we're familiar with, and we try to connect ourselves within the piece. So we're not just embodying characters of the past and trying to be someone that we imagine. We have to find ourselves in it. But it's kind of like this image of these characters or these people of the past holding us at the back and guiding us to move. So I like this image. Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay, it's basically like you feel it's a circle of life. It's not
Yeah.
just in the past, but it's actually, it is with us. It is within us somehow. Okay, so speaking about that, like how these people who you are researching about holding you and supporting you, would you like to tell a bit about the process your team is like going through? Like how are you feeling the journey? Can you walk us through the thing?
Yeah, I mean, at the start, I had a lot of conversations with Gogu, who was sharing with me the different types of songs within the folk genre. And it's grief songs, it's very flirtatious sort of songs, courting songs. And you see this in a lot of different cultures. And then there are songs of celebration. So we've kind of selected a few songs that we resonated with the most. And because three of us are women, we gravitated towards the stories in which there is either a woman is telling the story or there's a woman in the story. Of course, this attempt to this performance is just a seed that we hope to grow. So this is a starting point for us to start to work with the songs. And I think it's been quite exciting. I mean, we're at the stage now that we're working with our music producer to kind of replicate the type of rhythms that we hear in folk music. But I'm also learning that turning it into a performance is very different, because a lot of folk practices are lived in the community. You know, it's things that happen in Pongal or in, you know, celebrations or at the temple, or, you know, like there are different times that these folk songs are played. And when you make it into a performance, undeniably there are things that you have to change, there are things you have to interpret, and then you have to find a balance of how well are you representing these songs, and finding how it would be in a more improvised communal setting into something that is presented. So yeah, I think this is our challenge. But what I love about building this sort of work is that there's so much in the process that you learn, that the final output of what you see is just the tip of the iceberg, you know, but there's so much underneath that you don't see. But as the people who participate and move in the performance and then come out of it, we go through quite a transformation. I think it does shift our personalities and it grows us in different ways. But yeah, right now we're just kind of piecing everything together, and it's nice that we have a team that's very hardworking. I think everyone is contributing equally, you know, like, I mean, we always feel like, oh, you know, we don't want to be this like dominant choreographer anymore. Like, I'm the choreographer, you're the dancer, you listen to me. So I think this round, and this is actually a very hard balance to find, but this round I feel like everyone in the team is working very closely together. Everybody's ideas are being implemented very naturally. There's a sense of like collective effort. Yeah, so it's been quite nice, because usually by this point I'm quite stressed already, but I don't think I'm that stressed.
I think the communal folk songs are working its magic on your team already.
Yeah, maybe it's that. Yeah, because you have to do a lot of moving in circles, and I think when you do this sort of repetition, I think we should do this in our family settings, you know, just move in circles more, and then it makes you want to work together really like horizontally. But that's true. I think it how we move and how we think and how we collaborate, they all sort of inform each other in the process.
Okay, so that's like a very nice and warm part of the process. Do you think there's any challenges that you are facing throughout this?
time. I mean, I think it's important to know that a lot of people in Penang who are in the art scene, we wear a lot of hats. I have a semi-full-time job. You know, a lot of the people that I work with have full-time jobs. We find different ways to cari makan. And whenever we put shows together, we do it because we love it. You know, I think whoever is still performing, something is holding onto them to want to. And again, I think this is not a promotional plug, but I think this is why it's so important to support this work, because it is out of pure love that we stay in the practice. It doesn't sustain us so much. So I think the challenge is that a lot of the times when we do this work, we're not companies that get to practice every day or, you know, get to have rehearsals all the time. Sometimes it's 3 individuals with completely different daily realities that are coming together to piece something together. And so what you see is very sort of true to that and very organic to that. And what we let go of is this perfect aesthetic that we want, because our life is also not so perfect. It's quite chaotic sometimes. So I think the challenge is time a lot of the times, but somehow we pull it together. It's very
Okay, so I can say it's a very warm and improving yourself kind of process for you.
Yeah.
But what do you think you want to give the audience back when they come and join your workshop or see or watch your show? What do you think you want the audience, like, okay, when they leave, I want them to have this in their mind, in their heart? What is that?
Right. Yeah, actually, I want to talk about one more challenge. One of the songs is a grief song. It's a song about grief. And I think when you deal with such heavy topics, I can see, like with the dancers, there is a block, you know, there's a lot of yourself that you have to open up to kind of embody this. And so that's another challenge, that, you know, some of these stories, as we look into them, they hit very hard points, and, you know, we have to be very vulnerable in embodying them. And sometimes we don't know, maybe only on the show day it will come out, right? So that's quite a challenge. But yeah, going back to that, I think what I want audiences to walk away with, and because this festival takes a very different format to just going to a show, you have the opportunity to learn about it, embody it, and then watch it. That I hope that people take advantage of this, and to be sort of grateful that there are spaces that you can come and learn about more about the performances that are not limited to just a post-show talk. Because usually you have a performance and then you have like a short sharing at the end. This is the opportunity to really spend time with young artists and to learn about what young artists are questioning, dabbling with, and, you know, like, it gives us an opportunity for dialogue. And I hope that people will come and experience this, because I notice, like, every day we, as a society, we ignore each other more. You know, like, we live in straight lines of apartments, and this sort of events like allow us to sit in circles and to have discussion and to have healthy dialogue and to be able to, you know, do something that maybe you've never done before. If you've never sung a Tamil folk song before, this is your chance, and nobody's gonna judge you for it. It's going to be a very welcoming space, to be inclusive to everybody, to be a part of what it is we call, you know, the arts. And I think with festivals like this, we want to make things more and more accessible as we go along. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So would you like to leave a message for the audiences?
I'm holding the mic so tight, you know. No message, just do I have a message for the audience? Come and support the young talent on the island, or not just the island, the mainland also. Sorry, mainland. Come and support the talent that we have here. we lose a lot of our young talents to everywhere else in the world. And it's great to recognize what is happening right here in Penang. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you for your message and sharing all your processes and your thoughts with us today, Luvenia. Okay, so
Thank you for moderating.
so that's Luvenia with us. So do catch her presentation on the 1st of May at 2 p.m. and her workshop 3rd May, and her showcase will be on 9 and 10, and all this will be happening at the UAB building. So welcome again to the Penang Heritage Arts Festival. Thank you.